Hello and welcome to Centaurian's Corner. Today I'm going to bring you my collection of Black Series. As you all know, I've only just started collecting Black Series, so my collection isn't fully out there. I was going to do an individual review per figure, but I just thought some of these are old, some of these are new, and they've been done so many times on YouTube anyway. So I'm just going to give you a rundown and my thoughts on each in general figure. And at the end, I'll probably just say which one I think is my favourite and why. So without further ado, we'll just crack on. I haven't put any bootlegs. I haven't put any of my customs in this. This is purely official Black Series. So I haven't got any of the customs on that. So when I get to about 10 customs, I might actually do a video on those and just show all my customs off in one go. Just for anyone that's new to the channel, that they can get an update about going back forth and looking through all the old ones. So first of all, then we'll go through with Maz. Now, yeah, some of these I got gifted as well. I started collecting Black Series, and I actually got gifted by a friend some of his collection he did fall out of love with Star Wars, I think, as most of us did after watching Last Jedi. But politics aside, I've recently found love again in Star Wars, and I think he's getting there. But he donated his collection of Black Series to me, so this is one of them. I probably wouldn't even got Maz, to be honest, if I started collecting Black Series. I was literally just going to go for the clones. As I was watching reviews online, like Mike Caress, he sort of inspired me to get on YouTube actually, and also to start collecting Black Series as well. So I think it was the new face printing as well that was a little bit influence on there, because they always kind of, to me, always looked a bit like a toy. I know, yeah, I get it, these are toys, but when you're paying for like not a premium figure, but a figure that's a little bit more than a generic figure, you kind of want their face sculpt and all that to represent those characters. And these characters as well have been out for over 30 years, and for me they still struggle to even get their faces right. So with this new face printing and stuff, I think literally they're going the way forward. So yeah, Mez, she's a little bit gold, I think, generally as a figure. She's got the articulation there. Yeah, there's not really much you can say about that apart from I've got my grandma as a figure. So yeah, but apart from that, I mean, everything's painted and all that, and the bits move. But she looks like it, but it's Mez, isn't it? It's just basically a little granny in a jumper. So yeah, on to the next. We'll step it up a little bit. Bosk. Now, this figure I think is absolutely brilliant. There is some bits I think his face looks a little bit off. I don't think he looks like as he did in the films. It's just, I don't know, it just to me looks a little bit short-nosed. But maybe I'll keep thinking of the old Kenner line where it's a bit more like a dog-faced, to be honest. But yeah, no, his sculpt's brilliant. The colour's right. Yeah, and I like him. He's really chunky. He's a good figure. I feel a bit embarrassed that I'm going to move on to the next figure already, and I spent about 2 minutes on Mez, but on we go. Next figure. First Order Flame Trooper. I'm never a really big fan of the Flame Troopers. I don't know what it is. I think it just always generally, to me, looks like a sort of a bootleg toy that you would just buy somewhere. I think it's his helmet. It's a bit too shiny. As before, I did have the Black Series, not Black Series, sorry, the Disney Elite metal figures, and even in that as well, he just looks a little bit off. I think his helmet just, I don't know, just doesn't look right to me. But yeah, and always a good figure. Obviously won't be in my top line, but yeah, he's all right. One of my first purchases was Finn. And what I'll say about these figures as well, where I actually ended up getting some of these figures for, which I thought was a steal. I mean, I got Finn here. It was a xs-stock.co.uk, and they have a few Black Series on there, which are quite a few steals, really. I mean, I got this one for £10. So this is the Finn with the removable helmet. Gets a bit scuffed every time he moves his helmet, but I have him on display with his thing on. It's quite a good face sculpt, I think, on this guy. Yeah, generally like his articulation's alright. You know, but he always suffers again with his elbows, I think. But yeah, I think he's pretty cool. Alright, next we have Kylo Ren. This one also was gifted from a friend. His lightsaber's a little bit off with the extra bit around there, which I don't know what they was doing there. Yeah, I think it's Kylo Ren, isn't it? You can't really get it wrong. It's just blacker material. I must admit, I'm not a big fan of soft goods when it comes to characters. Either they're too long, too baggy, or whatnot. So if they do it right, I'm not too fussed about. I think his top part's all right, but then I think these bits need a bit of a trim up. They just look a little bit too long. You know, just a little bit of a skirt going on. His hood's fine though. I think that's all right. That works. So everything up here until it gets to about here downwards, I just don't think it works well. But you know, he's got his under part there, which is the vinyl plastic. So yeah, it's Kylo Ren in it. Can't really go wrong. It's Darth Vader for the new generation. Let's mix it up a bit. I was going to grab another First Order Trooper. So I'll go for Boba Fett. Well, it's Boba Fett, isn't it? Like, what's not like to like? I was thinking of getting a second Boba Fett and making him, because I think this is Emperor Strikes Back based on, and then the Return of the Jedi, the red gauntlet, sorry. So I thought I'd give him a bit of a custom up, but you know, he stands with all my other bounty hunters. I still need Zuckuss, but yeah, he's pretty cool. Can't go wrong. Well, I saw this guy the other day, and so I've done his twin brother with boot polish. I actually love these guys. I mean, my thoughts on Solo, because Last Jedi did put me off Star Wars for quite a little bit. I didn't go to the cinema. I didn't go and see Solo. I was just kind of adamant that it was going to be a bit naff. Listened to too much of the critics, I suppose. You know, because I think a lot of fans did actually start hating on Star Wars for no apparent reason. I do think a lot of people did get it wrong, where everyone's like, every Star Wars fan is a racist or a bigot and doesn't like it. But literally, I just felt so disheartened when I come out of Last Jedi. I literally thought I watched Spaceballs 2, and then I was like, oh no, my God, that was actually canon. Like, just watching Luke at the beginning throw that lightsaber after watching 2.5 hours of films that was building up to something new, and it didn't happen. So I apologise to the Solo movie, because actually that felt good. There was no stupid comedy in the way. There was a few little niches which you're going to get with prequels, you know, like the midi-chlorians from the first prequels, you know, and stuff like that. But we have to live and go with it. But no, actually, if you haven't seen Solo, I highly recommend it. It'll bring you a bit of love for Star Wars. I would say don't watch it if you're still hating Star Wars, but you know, if you're getting that love back for Star Wars, then go out and definitely give it a watch. So even my missus, she weren't even ready for it, but she watched it and actually probably wouldn't recommend. You know, she would quite like a sequel to the film. So that's how good it was. So yeah, I mean, this guy, it's just a stormtrooper, isn't it? Who doesn't want another sort of Imperial trooper in their ranks? You know, he's got the mixture. He's got the coolness of a biker scout. He's got the coolness of a stormtrooper. What more can you ask for? It's pretty cool. And the other one as well. Whoops. Captain Phasma. Now, my thoughts on Captain Phasma, I think it's like the new age Boba Fett. I think like she's a new character in the films, same as Boba Fett. It's just sort of there in the background, doesn't do much. You know, I think a lot of people moaning because she dies about 20 times, a bit like Kenny from South Park. But you know, same with Boba Fett. Really, he stood in the background, didn't really do anything in Empire Strikes Back, and then died within 5 minutes of Return of the Jedi. So I suppose media back then would have sort of like broadcast it that he was a bit of a naff character, but with kids' imaginations back then, I think it ran amok. So hopefully, like Captain Phasma to my kids would be the new Boba Fett. But to me, I actually really like Phasma. I don't know what it is. There's something about the character I really like. I wish that it was elaborated on more, but no, I really like her. I always play her in Star Wars Battlefront 2. You know, I play Galaxy of Heroes, and she's my front character in that as well. So yeah, like I don't know what it is. I really enjoy the character. So this is the Scorch Mark one, and I could have got the original one, which I probably will do. And I'm thinking about getting the original one and cussing it up with the chrome pen that I've seen out there, so make her proper shiny. But this one's got the eyeball in there, and yeah, this was a steal. It was a 1999, I think, for an exclusive figure. I'm not too sure what the exclusive was, if it was an old Toys R Us or whatnot, but yeah, that was good. I think that she come from In Demand Toys as well. Right. Admiral Thrawn. I've never been a massive fan of this guy. And to be honest, I ran out when he come into Rebels, I sort of started coming off it a little bit. But there's something about the Imperial outfit. I just think it's so sort of demeaning. It's so, you know, it's like a proper Edge sort of character. So when you got Thrawn and then you got Tarkin next to each other, it just gives that kind of sort of that Imperial coolness off. I think, you know, I still want to get Krennic and a few others, but yeah, I think these two have got it spot on. And even just for a character that was based on a couple pictures from a book, and then in the Rebels in the thing, and I'm quite glad as well they brought him back from Legends and they brought him into actual canon again. So yeah, no, he's pretty cool. And Tarkin as well, like literally his face sculpt and then bringing him back in Rogue One. It's just yeah, it's just an awesome character to have. It's a shame he didn't come with any accessories and whatnot. But yeah, it's a bit spooky as well because my granddad used to look like him, so it's kind of like having a mini granddad action figure on my desk. I'll put him next to Mez actually. It could be like a little granny as well. So be like grandparents stand next to each other. Now this character as well, it's another Imperial and Death Star Trooper officer. Can never remember. Always used to call them mushroom heads when I was a kid. But yeah, do you know what? When collecting Black Series, I was only going to go and get the clones, and then I thought I'll get the Imperials. I'll get like Stormtroopers and the cool ones. But this one, he was going for cheap. I can't remember what website I got him on now. But do you know what? I think actually he's for just a generic figure. I think, you know, his hat's removable, and just everything. He's got the articulation there. His costume's a little bit weathered. It's got all the sculpt in the right place. And he just, if you've got things on the shelf, I think he just brings that extra sort of atmosphere to a shelf if you're just displaying him. And I have him standing behind Darth Vader when he's talking to all the Boba Fett's on my shelf, bounty hunters, sorry, on my shelf. And he just brings that extra little bit of coolness there. You know, and even his gun, you know, it's just a standard one, but it's got all the paint apps and everything on there. You know, like some of these, they could sort of like, you know, Hasbro, when they're bringing out a line, they're obviously going to put more money into one figure and not put money into another figure. But I think this one's been copped out all right. And then we got IG-88. It's not much really can say about him really. That he's just a display piece. It's not really a figure, is he? He's weathered in the right places. They gave him articulation as best as he can. You know, his elbows are cool because they're like these little spongery type bits, but it's just IG-88, isn't it? It's just, yeah, don't even know really what he is. He's cool. I always liked the character, but you know, as a Black Series holding him in my hand, it's a bit like, it's not as cool as I think he would be. But yeah, what I did do with this character though, I did weather up his guns, because they just come with that sort of like plastic, very looking plastic, which I found with a lot of the bounty hunters as well. Like their guns have just come very thin, so I just put a couple of that Tamira sort of weathering kit on there and just dusted it off as well with the grey sort of silver metallic colour as well, like I've done with the other customs. And I also done his E11 blaster, just dirtied it up a bit. So I just feel like he wouldn't pick up an E11 blaster because it's an Imperial blaster. So he would, well, he would just sort of picked it up off the battlefield and just started using it. So yeah, that's that one. Let's go for Captain Rex. Now he's obviously appeared in a few of my videos, but this is my official Captain Rex one here. I normally display him with the helmet off, and yeah, this is the pinnacle Black Series character that got me into Black Series. It's the first one I bought, and I instantly fell in love. So I think it's just literally, it took me a while to get used to, wow, it's Boba Fett's head. I mean, just that face sculpt on a £20 figure, you just don't normally get that. It does put you off with his old sort of like David Beckham haircut, but yeah, it's just his face and everything on there. I was literally blown away with it. I thought it's pretty cool. It's just a shame he's not in his Phase 1 armour, which to me is like the look of Captain Rex rather than the Phase 2. But I suppose with the new series and all that coming out, they're kind of sort of, that's going to be the new look of Captain Rex for the kids these days, obviously, because Rebels, Clone Wars, it's about 10 years old, I'd imagine. So there we go. Next one I got up actually was Wolf. I spent a little bit more money on him. It was £35. I just missed out. It was on Amazon for £20, I think. And as soon as they sold out, it was gone. But so I was a bit gutted. But I was so gutted that I just went out and just spent nearly double the money in my anguish. But I just don't think he's got the appeal. He looks cool. He looks good. But I just don't think he compares to Captain Rex. I just don't think his armour just looks a little bit off. His skirt is definitely sort of way too short, which I still I want to custom. I just want to get a little bit more sort of experience in customising before I really go into the official ones. Especially when I spent £35 on him. And also I thought his his head was not as good as Rex's. You got the detail and everything on there, but it just, to me, just looks like a different character. But even though when I took a photo once, and I jokingly tagged Captain Rex into it, oh no, I put it down as clone, and actually it tagged him as well as clone, which was quite funny, I thought, in the camera. So they must look a little bit slightly alike, but just eye detailing. It's yeah, it's pretty cool. Right, let's go on to Rogue One. Is it Jen or Jan? Jenna, I say. So got this figure. She was a £5 in the Entertainer. I just was down there just buying them. So, for a steal, for a £5, you can't go wrong. She turns out, actually, some of these female characters that I got, I think they turned out a lot better, because sometimes I know legends and all that, they just don't look right. But yeah, she's okay. I mean, this is obviously before the face sculpt and all that face painting come in, so she just does look like a bit like a toy. She's got like a weird mole on her nose. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, she was alright. Everything's cool there. But one I was thoroughly impressed with was this Jen. Literally, I thought this character was just a statue when I saw the thing, and I thought, that looks quite cool. And then I saw like that she had articulation as well, and I was like, brilliant. Got her out of the box. Literally, I thought, again, like, yeah, actually, I'm going to start collecting these Black Series a bit more. So, hat comes off. She's got, obviously, the gas mask. And, yeah, she's all weathered in the right places and everything. So, she looks pretty cool when she's standing up on a rock on the shelf. So, yeah. She's definitely one of my faves. And then we've got Captain Cassian. So, yeah, I mean, this guy's alright, I suppose, isn't he? Kind of looks a little bit like him. Obviously, the face sculpt is there, but the painting's not. But his clothing and everything now, so he's painted really well. And I did customise his gun as well, as it was, I think this one was just like a grey plastic. So I just painted it black, done the silver tip on the end, and then just weathered it up. And this is one of my first videos that I tested out on YouTube as well, just to see how easy it was to upload a video. Which I got interrupted with my little girl. She come upstairs to see what I was doing. But now I just block them off, lock them away. But yeah, no, I think that gun come out all right. And I've done that on a few people. So the next one I've done that on was Fallen. Now, this guy, I actually love his body. I think all those parts, all the sort of detail in there. The only thing that puts me off slightly is his head. And his head's got loads of detailing, but it's just like an odd colour. It's obviously quite hard to look at the screen accuracy and stuff like that without looking at pictures, and obviously then people put filters on it and stuff like that. But I kind of expected it to be all one colour. It's just like a big blob of silver on his head. Maybe that's how it is, but anyway, this is another gun I painted up. I'll just try and get there into the details. So again, I think this was a very light grey gun as well. Felt very plasticky, so just gave it a black overbrush, then silver coat with the parts there, and Tamira weathered it, rusted it down a little bit, and yeah, now he's got a cool bounty hunter gun. Next up is Lando. It's Lando, innit? Not much you can really say about it. It's just Lando. Stormtrooper. This one was given in from the gift from a friend again. I might weather up his gun a little bit, but it's hard to do that because it's a Stormtrooper, you know, and that's what he is. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I think they could have done a better helmet. I think even the 3.75 helmets look better than this one. But obviously this is just the first sort of ones that they come out, so they might bring out a better Stormtrooper down the line. But then I'm hoping that they don't, because then they can carry on with more figures that you see in the background and other characters that can be given a chance, rather than sort of rehashing new characters to take up another, or old characters to take up another line. But yeah, he's all right. From the figure I had in the video the other day, X-Wing Luke. Now, obviously, you know that this one's an archive. My Boba Fett was an archive one as well, so, and the IG-88. So, obviously, with these new archive lines that are coming out, you know, it's definitely a win. Now we've got the Biker Scout, Anakin. He looks good, and they're all out in America at the moment. So, us little diddums in the UK, we're going to have to wait a little while to get them in. I looked on in-demand website the other day, and they're expecting in June. But then I think they've had Zuckus on there expecting like April, March, and it's still on there expected April, March. So, given the fact that I didn't identify the year which it would come, but I kind of imagined it would have been this year. But yeah, looks cool. Again, I said about his face the other day that I just don't think it looks like Mark Hamill all that much. Maybe it does. I don't know. It just looks like more like Barry Manilow. But in all, no, good detail on this figure. Might as well do these two at the same time. These two are also given in by the friend, which are both Rays. Yeah, the thing I don't like about Rey in these new films is that when Princess Leia, you know, she had like tons and tons of outfits. Now, I'm not asking for tons of outfits, because even Han and Luke had tons of outfits as well. And Rey, even though like she could have been a little poor pooper in this one, you know, like she's got a few bits together, she lives on her own, but now she's part of the rebellion and they all got nice leather jackets. She now dresses like this. You know, it's like, oh, that was a choice, that was a style. I just thought that's all you had, but no, it was actually a styling choice. Yeah, face sculpts, they're okay. They're kind of grown on me. There is a better Rey out there, I think, where she's got the poncho sort of one. And I'll tell you what, when I got the Disney Elites, the Disney Elite figure had a better face sculpt than this one, and I think this was one of them. That was one of the reasons why I started collecting the Disney Elites, because I didn't think these were going to be as good. But obviously, as time's gone on, these have got better, and they cancelled the Disney Elite figures. Yeah, they're both alright. They're both Rey. Yeah. Jango Fett. He's alright. What I might have to do is see if I can take his head off and put the Rex head on there and then paint it up, because this guy seriously needs to go and get his eyebrows sorted. It's just, you can even see the eyebrow, which is supposed to be down here, but geez. I mean, maybe he's trying to do a bit of a Roger Moore, you know? He's just checking out old Mace Windu on the battlefield and he's like, yeah, I'm going to have him. But, yeah. But the actual armour and the general sort of, just a Jango Fett, you know, back when the prequels come out, you know, he's alright. And as a figure, it's done well. You know, he's probably one of my faves out of the line. I actually probably prefer him more than Boba Fett, because I think he's got a bit of weathering and stuff on him. But Boba Fett, it's just kind of just, you know, his armour, even though it's been scratched up, it could have a, yeah, he's alright. Alright, next one up. We'll quickly go through a few more. So I've done a review on this guy, Mace Windu. So if you want to go and see that, you can check out my video. But absolutely brilliant figure. I picked this one up the other day. She was £11 in the Entertainer. Now, I weren't really going to go and get one of these figures because, again, as I said earlier, these characters have been around for 30 years and they've been in games. You know, how many times they've had digital face painting and sculpting and whatnot. Yeah, this is Princess Leia. Yeah. But I was still quite surprised with the figure, the articulation. I think, you know, the soft goods, I'm not a big fan of soft goods, but it works out all right. Just works fine when she's on the shelf in her little battle pose. Yeah, she does well. Sculpted well. I like where she's still got a little hunchback, you know, where she's got a little bit older. And I think her face is 10 times better than the younger Leia as well. So, yeah, I think they've done all right on this one. Just doesn't have the coolness, though, does it? It's not the coolness factor. It's not a Imperial Stormtrooper. We chuck these two at the same time. First Orders again. I only need the Executioner now, and I think I've pretty much got the majority of the First Order characters. So this guy's alright. He has got very dodgy elbows, and he's quite hard to pose in any kind of sort of battle kind of stance. So it looks cool. It's just First Order, and nothing else really to go with that one. And then obviously First Order / Flame Trooper / Snow Trooper. I do prefer more than a Flame Trooper. But, yeah, they're alright. And then we got Tango. He's pretty cool, all weathered in the right place. He's got that sort of face printing and stuff going on. So yeah, he's pretty cool. I did weather up his blaster, same as I did with Fallen. Just painted it black. Put all that sort of weathering kit on there just to weather it up a little bit. And I actually looked at the official photos as well to sort of scratch it in line with his actual gun. And then we got main man himself, Darth Vader. Looks alright. The only thing is, I would say his cape's too big. I don't mind the soft goods on him. I would rather have his underskirt as sort of like hard vinyl, and then this as more of a part there. I just think the cape is way too big, just for posing policy. You know, like it comes around, it's just massive. I don't remember him sort of being able to snug up at night, or sort of like be like Batwing. Yeah, his sculpt and all that's in the right place. Don't think too bad on his helmet. Now, I'm not too sure if this is the 40th anniversary one or whatnot. I know it's not the first beginning one, but I don't think his face sculpt is that bad compared to what some people have been saying online. Well, mask sculpt, I suppose, not a face sculpt. And then we got to the last two now. Hello there. Hello there. So, Obi-Wan here. I wasn't going to pick him up. It was £5.50 in Entertainer because it had a damaged box. And I think it literally just generally goes. It was still online for £5.50 as well. So, even if you want to custom some characters and stuff like that, because I did pick up another one as well, which I might sort of try and change into another character, or just another generic Jedi. As I used to do a bit of cosplay, so I might even sort of try and make myself. But yeah, I think I always thought his face was slightly a little bit off. My original one, this is my second head and the first body, because my first head, it was just the paint on his beard and all that just wasn't in the right place. And a lot of this on the other body wasn't sort of like painted to the edges. But yeah, I think they could have done a lot better with his head. And I think the new Obi-Wan that's coming out, I mean, yeah, it blows this figure out the park. So when you compare him to sort of like the Mace Windu outfit, it's just a shame that they've generated this guy and they've had these ones before. So more Jedi is going to come out and look like this guy, and it's going to leave this guy just sitting in the park, to be honest. He's just, it's going to look a bit naff on the shelf. And then we got old Obi-Wan. Now I got him from £25, and he was at, it's a UK site, A1 Toys. Yeah, I thought literally for £25, and it was this one.
General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed. I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of the SAR-2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Well, that went on a lot longer than I remember. But yeah, £25 for this and that. Like it's like an extra £5 than what I could get the figure just on his own, and it come with everything else. So yeah, and I think this character as well, 100% is one of my faves. These head sculpt, the robes done well, this bit's done well. It's just that kind of sort of equalness that I like. This is done well, cape is done well. It's not overflowing. This isn't too hindering of his articulation. It's perfect. It's just how I like it. But yeah, no, I think out of all of them, definitely Obi-Wan. My Captain Phasma is another one at the top, and the pinnacle one is definitely Captain Rex. Literally, if you're getting into Black Series, £11 on the Entertainer, I think Rex was going for. I mean, get them now because I know a lot of customizers are buying Rexes up and painting them all up and stuff like that. So if you definitely want one on your shelf, it's time to pick one up. But yeah, and that's my collection so far, guys. I mean, when I get to about 10 customs, I'll do a little customization sort of like videos where I'm at. Frodo's still in the making. I don't want to do it rushing too quick because otherwise I ain't going to have more figures to come in because one of my orders got a bit messed up. So I'm still waiting for it. And the weather here is a bit naff. So I'm sitting indoors doing more YouTube stuff. So that's me today, guys. Thank you very much for joining me again. And comment, subscribe down below. Share my videos as well because I think where I'm going to give away one of my customs. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to give away a custom. I'm going to make you a custom. So out of all the characters that I've made as of when I get to 100 subscribers, whoever wins, so you've got to like, share my video and subscribe, then that person will win that, and we can get in contact via Instagram or somewhere like that, and you can tell me which character you would want. So if you wanted to Commander Frodo or Bly or someone like that, then I would actually make that character for you and then send it to you. So anyway, thanks guys, thanks for coming again, and I hope you like the new logo that I've got, and I'll see you next time. Bye.